Hi everyone, welcome back to the Hollywood Actor's Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is your host, Jennifer Lynn Warren. Happy December, everybody. Gosh, December 2020. Well, what are you going to do? Well, we're going to work on our craft. That's what we're going to do. Take the power into our own hands. Now, if you haven't seen Sunset Boulevard, where Norman Desmond comes down the stairs and she says, "I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille," then where have you been? You've been under a rock. It's a classic movie. It's something I think every single actor should see. It's about an aging Hollywood star, so it gives you that old school Hollywood glam to see what it was like back then with the studio systems. And it's a brilliant story, so you should watch it. And what is she talking about? She's being filmed coming down the staircase, quote unquote filmed. I don't want to give anything away. And she's asking for her close-up. And why is this important? It's important because careers are made of close-ups. It's what you're able to give that camera in that close-up that separates, I think, a theater actor from a film actor. Some theater actors don't know how to do close-ups. So if you are a theatrically trained actor, like I originally was and still am, and I didn't understand what I needed to do for my close-ups. And guys, like 15 years ago, I was taking a class with an actor in Shreveport, Louisiana, someone who had like a long list of credits, and I didn't think I had anything to learn because I mistakenly thought a bachelor's degree, straight A student in theater and acting would know everything. Ha 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 ha. And so we were doing these monologues and he was pulling in really close on our faces. And he was like, "You've got to stop doing things. You've got to be still. You've got to trust the text, but your inner life can't be still." And so what I think you should do is next time you have an audition, or if you just want to, you guys should be practicing self-taping, right? I got to do some auditions this week, so I feel warm on my self-tape game. But when I don't, I get antsy. Last week, I was like, I was telling a friend of mine, I'm like, I got to shoot something soon. It's been a minute. I'm feeling antsy. And so I'll probably shoot something like I did with The Stronger, which was like a one-act August Strindberg play, which was just two characters and only one of them talked. So I shot just the speaking character's role for myself in my dining room, and it was fantastic. And I think that you should do something like that for yourself as well. But what really separates a good actor who's going to not end up on the cutting room floor of an editor is the juicy, wonderful inner life that you can give that camera on your close-ups. And some of you have never done a true close-up, or you've never seen yourself in a true, real close-up. And so I say to you to take a monologue that and shoot it a couple different angles, get yourself warmed up, and then shoot some really, really, really close on your face close-ups, and then try to edit the monologue together like a scene and see if you are giving yourself, the editor, anything usable for your close-ups, or is this something that you're going to need to work on? Frederick Douglass said, "We have to do with the past only as we can make it useful to the present and future." And I would say to that you have the career you're willing to put up with. Meaning, if you're sitting at home waiting for your agent to call, if you're listening to all of the advice on all of the great podcasts out there, including mine, telling you what you need to do for your acting career to get it off the ground, and you're not doing any of it, you have the career you're willing to put up with. It is all on you. It is all your fault. I hate to tell you, it is not your agent's fault you don't have a career. It's you. You are to blame. You have the career you're willing to put up with. And the things that we have in our past, and you can't you can't blame everything, right? You can't be like, oh, I didn't have that audition memorized and that's why I didn't book it and that's why I'm not working this year. And we come up with all of these excuses, and I'm going to tell you, let it go, because all of that BS that you tell yourself is not helping you in your present. And so I think it could be cool to have a little arts and crafts project, and I think you need a purpose, right? We talk about that on the podcast all the time. We talk about journaling. We talk about writing down your auditions, all that fun stuff. But what about a purpose and vision board specifically for your career? Some of you may have these just for your life. And some of you have it just as a Pinterest board, which is totally fine by me. If you want to do it digitally and go on Pinterest, cool. That'll work. But you should put together a vision board. I would just go to the store, get some really cheap, what's that paper called? That's like cardboard stock. Or if you order from Amazon and you get really big boxes, just like cut the cardboard out of that and use that as your backing, and start printing out pictures of actors you want to work with, directors you want to work with, types of roles that you want to play. Do you want to do period pieces? What period do you want to play? Find pictures of that and put it on your board and put it somewhere that you have to look at every day. Mine's personal, so I don't have it displayed in my house, but it is somewhere that I do see it every day. And it's just for me, and it's very personal, and it keeps my booty on fire. So my thing with you guys is just let go of the past. Realize that you are where you are because this is where you're okay being, unless you're fighting. And if you're willing to fight, let's put together a vision and a purpose so that we know where we are going to be going in 2021, because that baby is fast approaching. And before we get to the end of the year and we're dealing with Christmas time and all that fun stuff, let's talk about gifts. Unless you are living financially comfortably, meaning like you're making so much money that you have no bills, like you have no payments, you're not worried about hustling to make that money for classes. You've booked maybe a series regular role, or you booked a role. If you booked a role that financially changed your life, it changed your life, you made so much money from that role, then you can and maybe should send a gift to your agent or your manager if they helped you procure that role, right? If you booked a co-star or a guest star, don't get them a gift. Don't do it. It does nothing. It means nothing. And for God's sakes, do not send food or alcohol. There's a lot of people in this industry that are sober. Sending them alcohol can be a slap in the face. Never send anyone alcohol. Bad idea. No one's going to eat your baked goods because they don't know if you've poisoned them because you're upset about the year you've had. Do you know what they really want? What they want is a thank you, and that can be sent for free in an email or in a card. I was listening to the podcast, One Broke Actress this week, and she was talking about this, and she was absolutely right. How many people just send a nice thank you Christmas card or Hanukkah card? I mean, some of your agents might be Jewish. They might not, practice any of the Christmas stuff that you do. You should look in to see who they are, or just make it completely not Christmas-y at all. Just get a thank you card and just say, in this holiday season, I was thinking about everything I was grateful for, and I just want to say thank you for all the hard work you've put into my career. I see the work that you're doing, and I appreciate you. That will mean more to them than anything that you could possibly buy for them. Because if you're, especially this year, guys, don't be spending money you don't have, because you don't have it. My agents are getting a nice thank you card this year, just like they get every year. I send them a Christmas card every year because I know they love Christmas. And that's it, guys. When I booked American Horror Story, when I booked it, I sent them a nice gift. Not an extravagant gift, a nice, okay gift. Something that reflected the amount of money I was making on American Horror Story and no more and no less. So I think gifts are great when you book something because it's a thank you in the moment. Whereas if you wait till Christmas, then it's all going to just get lost in everybody else's gifts, and they're not going to remember who sent them gifts and who didn't, but they will remember a sincere thank you. So that's it. All I got for you guys this week. Break a leg out there, and remember, you are not alone.